What is up, all my beautiful people? Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing week and a killer Sunday. I appreciate anybody hanging out with me and anybody taking the time on the recap. You guys mean the world to me. So, we're just going to get right into it. I know I see a couple of you hanging out, so we're just going to start digging into the chat, man. So, we got Comics by the Bay. Hello from somewhat cold Florida. Can't be too cold, man. It's probably better than Ohio, that's for sure, bro. Hello, Las Cruces from New Mexico, allegedly. Hopefully you're having a great day, my dude. Trev, the shipping guru. Good evening, my brother. Hopefully you're having a great night, my man. Chop and Drop 2013. Happy to have you, man. Always appreciate your support, my dude. Scotty, hopefully you're having an amazing night. Everybody make sure tomorrow, I think it's 7:30. I always get those times mixed up, but it's going to be him and Lady Fantastic. They're going to be hanging out on his live at 7:30, so please make sure you guys go check him out as always. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully everybody's doing great today. Hopefully you guys are having a killer weekend. Lady Durs, already miss you. She's hanging out over at the parents while I'm doing this live for a little bit. Dr. Von Hoot, hopefully they're having a great night, my dude. Been catching up on your videos. You've been doing some great content. Make sure everybody to go check him out. If anybody wants to drop links in the chat, you know my chat's always open. If there's any homies out there lurking, you see the link up at the top. Feel free to come hang out. Again, any moderators out there, shameless plug yourself, plug other channels. I want to make sure everybody's always subscribed to each other. Comic Cap was hanging out in your premiere earlier, showing off some key books. You had a great show, my dude. Spine Ticks, killer show last night, always, dude. And then had a little bonus content with another unboxing premiere this morning. So always appreciate you, dude. Hopefully you're hanging out and having a killer day, brother. Good, man. I'm good, dude. I sent you the link if you want to come kick it, man. It's always open. Kenneth Bird, hopefully you're having a great day, my dude. He won my last giveaway and just got his packages. Speaking of giveaways, here towards the end, after I get through the chat and show off some YouTube stuff, I got a giveaway queued up for this stream. So anybody that's hanging out with me, I want to reward you guys. Better than you. How you doing, my brother? Hopefully you're having a killer day. Brooklyn, hopefully you're having a great day, my dude. Beckerman, I didn't send you the link. I didn't know if you're still at the con or not. You're probably pretty tired, so I just sent it out in the Instagram chat, so it's there if you want it, my dude. Appreciate you. Hopefully you had a killer time, and hopefully you got some footage, and can't wait to see what you got, my man. Where'd you get that? How'd you get doing, my dude? Hopefully you're having a killer night. Chat GPT, always, my dude. Brian, hopefully you're a killer vacation, my man. Was a little weird not having your full show on Saturday, but wasn't right without it. We got another homie backstage, so we're going to bring out Izzyverse as we take a little break and shouting out the chat.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You sound beautiful. How you doing, my dude?
I'm just getting ready for my show for tomorrow, and then you give me a buzz, and I'm like, sure,
yes,
let me stop by.
Right, why not? I remember last time you're like, always shoot you the link, so for sure.
Awesome. Good to be here, man.
Yeah, you having a good day, man?
It's been a busy day, man. It's been a busy day. I see some good friends watching here.
Nice.
So yeah. That. Some good guys out there, all over the place.
I don't do the Chat GPT here, but yeah, Sith Marcus does that. But if you guys want to check out, shameless plug, the last South Park episode, the last 5 minutes of the episode was all like directed. They like break it. They're like, hey, this is made by Chat GPT. We hope you enjoy. So.
Cool. Yeah,
for sure. Be safe, my dude. Yeah. What's up, Callie? Hopefully you're having a rocking day, my man. Roscoe, just caught your unboxing with Lady F. That was great books you got, man. Lady F's killer member of the community. Always NASCAR, man. It's NASCAR Sundays, huh?
Yeah, that's Comics by the Bay, man. He loves those cars, man.
Yes, sir, he does.
I still don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, the AI is taking over for sure. I dig it for sure.
Yeah.
Did we get everybody? Cool. We did get everybody. So I'm going to share my screen and just show a couple people real quick. Since the first few minutes are what everybody catches on the recap the most, so I want to show off these dudes. So we'll start with this one. So Dale of Suspense Comics and Collectibles. I'm not sure. I don't think he's here right now, but if he catches it on the recap, congratulations, my dude. He just reached 500 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to him, somebody can drop him in his link in the chat. I would appreciate it. but I want to make sure that sticks for him. He's doing a giveaway and everything. So yeah, he's at 501 right now. So if you're not subscribed to him, hit him up. Make sure that sticks.
Yeah, Dale's cool.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Open that up. I'm still getting used to the sharing of the screen. So
It takes some time.
it does. It does. I'm getting a mouse and another little desk here this weekend.
Yeah, I'm digging the Bray Wyatt shirt, man.
Oh, for sure, that's my guy. I'm hoping he makes Mania. Hopefully, he's not hurt or whatever.
I don't know. I'm hearing stuff. I'm hearing stuff.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
stuff is
They had
good.
right. It's been secret for sure.
Yeah, that's usually the case with him, isn't it?
Yeah, always.
So
But we got Philtastic Comics and Art. He's at 220, but he is doing a giveaway as well for his 200 subscribers. And what I like about that is he's making you tag some channels that aren't really comic related and that people might not know about. So it's a great way to kind of broaden your horizon and
that's
check
always
out.
good.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, because
sure.
when it comes to YouTube, there's so much content, right?
Dude, yeah.
We're at the millions, I think, at this point
Yeah, dude,
of
it's
different type
so
of
hard.
channels. I don't even know how they have the servers open. You know what I'm saying?
For real. And then we got my main dude, SVaughn82, Scotty, 826 subs. Just want to plug his show for tomorrow. It says Comic Book Addicts. He's going to be on there with Lady Fantastic. That is at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So that's one of my main dudes. He's always got a great show.
Yeah, right after mine. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody kind of fits in their time slots and stuff, and just kind of chills. Like shout out to Matt Woods. He's going to be on at 7, so that's when I kind of like to end mine right around 7:30, so everybody can slide over to his. Nick, what's up, my dude? How you doing, my brother? Links in the homie chat if you want to check that out. I got you're actually the next after this one. I'm going to be shouting out. So we have.
I like chopping drops. Little comment there.
Which
the Legend Maker.
Oh, for sure. This is actually Beckerman and Allen. They have a channel together, which is the Comic Viking, and they're at 234 subscribers. And once they hit 250, they're going to be doing a cool little giveaway. So I always enjoy it. They do their Hucklebuck. It's them showing their hauls and stuff like that. They're great homies for sure.
Yep.
Bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
I know yesterday I spent my majority of my day just, first of all, I was going through some boxes and stuff like that because I'm in a massive reorganization of my comics, and I keep finding some nice little books that I was like, oh yeah, I got this book. Oh yeah, I got this book. And I was watching Rob. Fat Stacks.
His Only Slab show.
Yeah,
that was a banger. That was a banger.
Tell me that thing was insane.
Yeah, it was a banger, absolute banger. I mean, his shows are always a banger, but that one was definitely.
When he just kept on throwing those extremely key books. You know what
that's what I love about his show, because like the previous week, Nick's Kicks and Comics was on there, and they were all banger books, but they weren't like $10,000-$15,000 books, but they're all super personal and books he loved and all customized and stuff like that. And you get one aspect of like the personalization on the show, and then you have the other aspect of somebody bringing just the typical top tier, Spider-Man #1s and those crazy books. So that's why I always love his show.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that he was telling the stories behind these extremely hot books, right? That will always be hot. They'll be relevant books, right? And he's just telling these stories like, I got this book for like $20. I got this book for $70.
Dude, the prices he got those were absolutely.
You didn't get the Punisher book for like $70.
$70, yep.
That's what I was like. I put in the comments overpaid, but the reality of it is that dude, man, you banked, as we would say, right? You banked.
For sure. What is up, Zach's Collections? Make sure I'm pretty sure he's a moderator. If not, drop his link. He just got an unboxing from me and a couple other people. He just dropped on his channel.
I see Legions of Comics. They're always
he was just at the movies. Yeah, walking out of the movies from seeing Shrek for sure. Yeah, he put up a short, and he was a very, very old school, really nice movie theater. He said it was like back in the 80s it was made or whatever. But he's got his at week's end at 9:00, so make sure you guys all hang out for that. So no Last of Us now, so you can't. We can all hang out with Mark now. We don't have to.
Yeah, no Last of Us. I'm still behind. I got like 2 episodes and stuff like that. So I just finished watching the episode of The Girls.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go back to it. In fact, we're gonna watch it a little later. It was like, okay, everybody finished Last of Us. I'm gonna just catch up on it because there's
Oh,
too
it's a
much stuff
banger.
going on. There's too much stuff going on.
There
Caught
is,
up,
there is, there is.
watched.
I really, I'm like, I have like, I'm looking down. I have like 15 books to read. I didn't really read too many comics.
Yeah.
WWE 2K23 came out. Been playing that and just hanging out with the family this
How's the
weekend.
game?
It's
Is it?
good. It's good. It's dope.
It's good.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
good, especially after what? Not the last one, but the previous one. That
So the
was
last one was the first good one in years, a long
yeah.
time. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Now
But yeah,
AEW's game, their game's supposed to be coming out, but it's been
it's gonna
delayed.
be like super arcadey, like the old N64 ones, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Zach. He's more of a card collector and guy like that. But
Mhm.
I sent him a couple pictures on Instagram and told him what the numbers and on the barcodes mean today. So
Oh yeah, the numbers on the
hmm
barcode.
hmm
That's funny that you say that. I've been collecting for 35 years and I never did pay attention to that until
hmm
someone brought it up to me last year.
really, it's the
Yeah,
fastest way to dig through the back issues, like to know which the covers is for me and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So and I never really looked at that because there was I did go through a little hiatus, right? So I had a little hiatus, and during that hiatus, I just I've always kept myself in the know in some way or another. But it got to that point where it was just it became hard to manage.
hmm
If you know what I mean. It's
Oh,
like
for sure, it does
this
get overwhelming.
this constant reissuing of comics is annoying. It's to the point that it's like, dude, just go back to legacy numbers. It was
hmm
easier. It was
Right.
easier to maintain. And I think I have a feeling that DC is trying to get to that point with some of their books. I know they're still relaunching other books, but like their core titles, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, I think, Batman. Well, not Batman, Detective in Action. Um, they've kept their numbering systems intact, so they
Right.
went back to those legacy numbers. But especially Marvel, man,
It's
do
all
we
over the
need,
place.
do we need Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1 yet
Like
again?
Murder World. Murder World just came out and it's a great series. It just wrapped up, but
Mhm,
every issue it was like Murder World #1, and then it was like Murder World Wolverine #1, Murder
mhm.
World Moon Knight number. Each one was a #1, so I like that. There's no reason for that because it's all a continuation of a
I think it
series.
hurt it too. I think it
hmm
actually hurt
A
its
hundred
sales
percent, 100%.
because
It
people
was.
were looking at it like this is not this is like another one shot. This is like
Yep.
another one shot. And
Yep.
you know what? They're advertising it like it's a one shot. So being
Facts.
advertised as a one shot, it's like, I could pass on that one. But the reality of it, it really was the next issue in
Yep.
that story. And Arcade's one of those characters, man.
I
He's
love
so
them.
underrated. He's an underrated character.
Agreed.
Especially he's perfect for this day and age. You know
hmm
what I mean? He's the kind of character. He was so ahead of its time when he first came out, but
Oh
now
yeah.
gamers. Well, they did the whole Squid Game. I know the whole Squid
Squid
Game
Games.
storyline.
That was, yep, for sure. That's
Uh,
why I think they would be perfect if they marketed it
yeah.
right.
So it hopefully maybe the trade will do make it do some justice.
Right.
Um, but we'll see. But it's already been wrapped up. I know that much.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna share. I got three more things to share real quick. So we'll knock those
Knicks.
off. Yes, sir. Nick's Kicks and Comics. He's at 589. So if you're not subscribed to him, man, you get him 11 more. He's at 600. I know a lot of these dudes. We're not doing this for the subscribers or stuff, but I always like plugging my homies and seeing them hit the milestones. And I mean, how can you go wrong with his last short showing off those fire J's? So
Yeah, look at those.
mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah,
also a big shoe guy.
I remember how it took me to the point that I'm at, because right now I'm at 1640.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hustle, hustle, hustle,
Oh,
hustle.
for sure.
So one of the benefits I have in being in the city in New York is that we got a lot of shows. So one of the things I would do is I would always constantly be in shows and always talk
Oh,
to people
people
and get
love that con stuff and the con
yes.
footage and the show footage. That stuff
So,
pops off.
oh no, so I will have a table in the con, and for every subscriber you got a nice spin the wheel type of thing.
Oh yeah.
So I will rack up like about 35 to 50 subscribers in every show I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the bigger the show, the better
Facts.
the better the
Oops.
numbers are. And it's fun, but then you also have to pay attention if they're watching.
Yep.
That,
Agreed.
because that's where that's where now I'm at this point where it's not about subscribers anymore. It's about
Mm-hmm.
views, it's getting more
Right.
people to watch. This whole YouTube thing is insane because even though the channel's now monetized, and anybody could tell you, Even though we get monetized, we make nothing.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing to be made.
It's very, especially in the comic market, it's such a niche group.
Hmm.
Unless you're doing like a lot of the kids videos, like if you're doing like family content, producing content with your kids and stuff like that, that stuff blows up. You can make a living off that. Gaming content blows up, a lot of stuff like that. It's just comic market, nothing against it. But at the end of the day, I'm just doing this for a hobby. If somebody
Yeah.
subs to me, I'm like, cool, that's one more person that can maybe, catch one of my videos, hang out on my lives, catch one of my positive messages. Hopefully it changes their day. That's how I look at it. Shorts, it's a different time period. And up until the last year, YouTube wasn't really pushing shorts.
Mhm.
And shorts is a great way for me to just take a couple minutes, show off a cool comic, flip through it, show off something I love, and not have to dedicate 15, 20, 30 minutes for it that I can use to spend with my family, watch other people's content, and do stuff like that. So I like having the Sunday lives, couple, one or two videos a week, and then fill in the other days with shorts.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me, it worked the exact other way around, right? So I'm a heavy I'm heavy into editing my videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure I have the best quality I could possibly get, right? So I would do these weekly poll list videos, which were about 5 minutes in length. They were never meant to be long. They were meant to be like 5 minutes in length. And what I did was I'll just go out to either a con or a place, and it became more like, where's Izzy going to be this week kind of thing, which was
Mm-hmm.
fun until my computer, my old computer, was just acting up on me, and it made it more challenging to make these videos. Then, so then I went with the route of, I call old friend of mine, and say, hey, would you be interested in doing the live stream where we do a pull list every week? So he was like, oh yeah, and that's Josh, in case you didn't know. And Josh and I, we go back years, like almost 20 years now. We go way back.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot older than he looks. But we ended up doing the live stream, and the live stream is so much fun because we ended up became more than what just the poll list is about. So it
Right.
became more like a variety type show where we talked about the trending books, we talk about what's hot, the top 10
Mm-hmm.
books, and the different companies, and then we go into the poll list. And the reality of it is we're not really talking about it in the way of this added knowledge or what we know about the story. We go in just having fun, like what
Right.
you would
Just your
normally
just your
do with your friends,
opinions and
right?
right, right.
So we'll crack a joke about a comic book, like if it's a major series or something like that, and we'll say something like, things will never be the same again. That's a line that's always thrown in the comic book, right? That
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. Or if there's another number one, or we'll just complain about how Disney's making another Disney cover on a Spider-Man book that doesn't even have Spider-Man in the
Yeah,
cover.
that's stuff so weird, man.
Like, I think I like the book.
I exactly, me too. I'm a fan of all of them, but I just wish they would have stayed with that kind of thing.
I think the bigger insult here is not a single one of those homages are Spider-Man.
Right, exactly.
Like,
It's
give me
weird.
Amazing Fantasy 15, or give me Amazing Spider-Man number one. Give me Spider-Man number one. Why can't you make
Hmm.
Mickey in that pose that everybody seems to do?
Right. So for me, for how I do my lives, like when you ask me like what's the topic, my lives have kind of a theme. Like I have some random points to hit and come across, but at the end of the day, it's more of a hangout, and it's to help me with speaking skills. And then also when I go to other people's lives, I want to try and be as professional and as not stutter like I just did right there. So being on my own live, I can mess it up, do whatever I need to do, and be as bad as I need to be. That way, when I go to somebody else's live and I'm taking up their time, that's very valuable to them, and I'm honored to be on their shows. I can be as professional and kind of as good as possible. And I'm waiting. I'm having my logo done this weekend,
Oh,
and then
cool.
I'm gonna actually have music and stuff. My buddy's working on it and everything. So once I get those done, then I can actually start kind of having more of a theme and more of a segue into my lives.
Yes. Step by
But
step. That's
oh,
pretty
for
much.
sure, for sure. I'm just taking it slow, man. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna share these last two things. We got this last channel, and then one more
Actual
announcement.
Dracula. Yeah.
For
That's
sure,
good.
He's amazing, man. He's an amazing artist. He's also doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. But in that 500 subscriber giveaway, one of his things is he's got a bunch of channels tagged. So all those channels are all close to getting 500. So if you go check out Actual Dracula in that video, you're gonna check out a bunch of different channels as well. So I would
Yeah, and
greatly appreciate
that's
him.
awesome, man. Hashtag grow together.
Oh
That's what
yeah,
we're doing here.
always. Hmm.
Yeah. What's up, comic vet?
And then the very last thing is the CBC Awards, CBCA Awards.
I
Full
saw last
details.
year's. They were great. Last year's was
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure, for sure. I joined right like a month or two right before like it kind of was wrapping up, so I was late to everything. But it was a great show. I loved being a part of it. You just said shout out to Chris the comic vet. He won one of the awards, and just the emotion he brought was something I was like, wow, this community is amazing, and really kind of opened my eyes of how incredible everybody is. So yeah, the full details are going to be revealed in April, and then nominations in May. That way, we're kind of promoting it now. That way, we're not really campaigning. But win or lose, as long as I get nominated, or if I don't get nominated, I'm just there to help out, man.
Yeah, and I've been doing the same thing. I've been throwing it out on IG more than anything. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
you're in IG, just go ahead, throw in a little stories, say, hey, these things are coming or that's coming. Again, it's about helping each other out. It's
Next.
that's how we build each other up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're working for a common goal, right? And that
Yep.
goal is, for me, it's build awareness of the industry, not just
Exactly.
from one level, not just from one group, but from different other groups, right? So you could enjoy comics as a collector, which a lot of people are, and they
Mm-hmm.
love to slab their books. You could enjoy it from an indie perspective, where if you're more interested in the indie books and things like that, then that's great. You
Yep.
can enjoy it from a creative perspective, where if you want to start a Kickstarter, how do you get that Kickstarter start? So the whole purpose why I named my channel Izzyverse. First of all, it's not on the multiverse, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm a little shallow and kind of narcissistic in a way, but the reality of it is it's because it's a multiverse within the genre of not
Mm-hmm.
just comics. Just like you're wearing that Bray Wyatt shirt, I love wrestling, and I know a lot of
Yep.
people that love wrestling and
Yep.
love comics. That you got those that don't love comics and they love nothing but wrestling. And you got those that
And that's
love
fine.
wrestling and don't comics
Yep.
but don't love wrestling. But there is a Venn diagram there. There is a connection. You know what I mean? And it's always fun. I know lately I've been doing a lot of watch alongs for wrestling
Mm-hmm.
events,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a whole bunch of views. I don't, and it's just people watching me watch a show. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's because they may not be able to watch the show and they just want to hear what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just because they want to be able to talk about something. Because I know in my household, my family's not interested in watching the wrestling, so sometimes I'm alone in that room just watching the TV, and I'm like,
I'm
if
lucky,
you
my girlfriend's diehard with me, so we watch it together and everything. She loves it just as much as me.
My wife was until ruthless aggression era, and then it
See,
stopped.
she wasn't a fan at all until we got together 3 years ago, and then we
Yeah,
went back. Like I wasn't even a fan until a couple, like two or 3 years ago. I was, growing up until like I was 15, 16, watched every episode religiously, and then as I grew up, I just stopped watching it. And then up until a couple of years ago, I found out that's kind of when Bray Wyatt was coming onto the scene. I was like, wow, this dude's amazing. So I went back and watched everything.
yeah. For
But
me, it's
just,
like I was raised in wrestling, so
mhm,
as long as I can remember, I go back. So my first memories are WrestleMania 1, the
yeah.
first WrestleMania. That's my first memories. And then I got into the rock and wrestling era. Then it was the new generation with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Then we had WCW come in, which were at the time they were NWA, and then they became WCW, and then they,
Hmm.
NWA. Then you got the Attitude Era, and then McMahon buys out not just WCW, he buys out
Everything.
ECW, and then that becomes the Ruthless Aggression Era, which became super PG.
Yep.
But because it was a monopoly, that was pretty much the only thing you watched. So I still watched it. I watched it every Monday. I would watch my Monday Night Raw. I watch it, but I'm like hurting. It's causing me
Yeah.
pain to
Yeah. It was
watch.
rough.
but it was something like for me, it was like I have to watch this. This is like the one thing that connected. Not exactly, but the one thing I will say me and my father will always watch together. Now my father's long gone, but I want to still watch it just because it's my memories of him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I'll give you a good story about my dad. One day my dad's just sitting there. He's in his sofa chair and he's like, Izzy, I want to talk to you. I was like, my first thought is he's gonna give me the birds and bees stories. Right? So he'll give me comes a time in life where man, that
Right.
kind of thing. So he comes up to me and he's had a couple of drinks in his system. And he's like, Izzy, I want to tell you something. I want you to become a wrestler. And he wanted to be my manager.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I am in no shape or size or anything of the matter to do that. And then you got my mom screaming, like, what you talking about? It was a fun day. It was a fun day. But he was so great. He was the perfect guy to watch wrestling with. What's up, Manny?
So, what was your? Because I got my favorite read of the week that I'm going to go over. What was your kind of favorite read of the last week that you have read,
So I'm trying to recall what I read,
or just in recent? What you're currently reading. That's kind of your favorite book.
So favorite book. My favorite book right now has got to be Nemesis.
Oh yeah, fire!
I
Amazing.
love Nemesis. I didn't get to read 3 yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I have
excited.
I have to read the trades. I never read the original.
Well, I read the
run.
original. The original run I read it years ago. I still have those books.
Is it just as good as the current?
Oh yeah, to me it is.
Okay, cool.
I think in the original it was more. This one's a little more. It's bigger. It's like
right. It's not more of I'm sure the original was more of like an origin story and all that stuff.
Well, not even. It was. It was pretty. It was a little bit of the same thing. It was like
gotcha.
he's causing havoc pretty much. But I always thought the concept of what if Batman was evil was really cool because it's not. We're not talking about the Batman who laugh here.
Or
it's
like Thomas Wayne or anything like that.
Or anything like that, or like Owlman or something like that. This is more of a. This is a world that a rich guy has all the tools.
He can do whatever he wants.
He can do anything he wants, and he's taking advantage of it because to him it's more like game, right? That's all it is. It's a game to him. So when I first read it, I immediately fell in love with it. I thought it was one of the best things I've read in a very long time. It was, especially at that time, it felt very original, and it was just a breath of fresh air. And Steve McNiven was doing the art on that book. Mm-hmm. So one thing about Nemesis is Nemesis has always had great art attached to it.
Yeah.
And Steve McNiven, he just came out of the Civil War run. The guy was on fire. He was doing, Old Man Logan during that time, and he was doing this as well. And this is and Mark Miller. He actually goes by Mark Miller, even though it's written Millar. He was on fire in his style. It's like, so guys like him, Garth Ennis, they were doing things differently, but at the same time keeping it to the whole superhero world, because I'm more of a superhero comic book guy because that's what I've been reading since I was a little kid.
Right.
I'm not big on horror or anything like that, but from time to time again I'll read a book.
So my favorite pick and quick plug, and my current favorite book is of course Vanish. Comes out this week, March 22nd, and my bones are more than excited for that. But the book I read last week was Clear, and this was hands down my favorite book, and if it continues the way it's going, might quickly be like one of my top books. As a gamer, if you've ever seen Ready Player One, the movie, it's that concept. Where let's see, it's San Francisco 2052, and it starts off basically this girl committing suicide, and I don't want to go through any spoilers, but as she's falling, like committing suicide, all the panels, it's like fantasy, there's dragons and everything, and basically everybody has these masks on their veils.
Yeah.
So you can change to whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's just like Ready Player One. Like he gets hit with a syringe as he's trying to chase him down, and all their morphing and everything. It's by Scott Snyder, and then Francis Manapul does that.
Yeah, Francis Manapul is one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, and it's a banger.
His stuff in Flash, he did Flash a few years ago. It was awesome.
Oh, it definitely, dude. It is a thick book. See, this is the type of stuff like I'm a fan of because and then I pick up this book that I wanted to talk about because I gave so much hate to the past issues
Ooh.
of ASM. Hang on, I'm going to talk about it. So I gave so much hate to the past ASM, but it's crazy holding this book and the paper quality and everything like that, and then holding this ASM and the paper quality of this. But I will say, after the last two ASMs were some of the worst two comics I've read in a while, this one was great. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure. I missed who this character because like the how it referenced the 1 year earlier
Yeah,
thing.
Benjamin Rabin.
I wasn't reading ASM at that point, so I wasn't familiar with this character. But the artwork was good. That's what I was happy about. The story was okay. It was better than the Kmart Sinister Sticks of the last
Mhm.
two episodes. So I just wanted to touch on that if Trev's still here, because I know I was roasting the last two episodes or the last two issues of ASM.
Okay, so my opinion on ASM right now is a little different. First of all, I don't know if I'm going to get love and hate for this. I love John Romita's artwork. John
Mm-hmm.
Romita Jr.
It's
Some people
good.
don't. Some
How do you?
people don't like
I,
it, and
so like
I can understand
I'm
why.
I'm always confused by it. I think his facial expressions are a little weird sometimes,
Yeah, that's
but
not his
these
strength.
right. But just like looking at some of these action panels, it's good. It's solid, bro. I love vibrant artwork. I love all that stuff. So like for me, and then like Amazing Spider-Man is kind of a staple. So for me, it's like a forever pull type
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah. So when it comes to John Romita Jr.'s art style, he is definitely one of those guys that people don't always like because they see the artwork as it is, and it's like it almost seems like it looks like it's lazy, but it
I
isn't.
agree. Sometimes, yeah,
Right.
his face. I can see it in his facial expressions.
Right. However, what a lot of people don't understand, and this is what bought me on John Romita Jr., is the way he is able to make you move from panel to panel. He's a
Mm-hmm.
genius at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got to also give credit to Scott Hanna's ink work on it as
Mm-hmm.
well. So you look at if you go to his panels, I guarantee you, as you're reading the book, you will not be confused on where to go next. You get my point? Because
Right.
he is able to make your eye move in a certain directions, and he does it in a subtle way, right? Yeah, exactly. He does it
I'm.
in such
I'm.
a subtle way.
Wants to see his nose. There's his nose for you, Matt.
Right. So he has this approach of taking things and make it subtle. Like as an artist
Agreed.
myself, and I've done comic books, I could tell you firsthand, being able to be a good artist is one thing. Being a storyteller is something else.
Oh, facts.
Right. So, there's a lot of guys out there, and that I absolutely love and I think are phenomenal. They're great artists. They're great cover artists. They're great, but can they tell a story? I'm gonna use an example of a really popular guy, Art Germ.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful covers.
Mm-hmm.
But what else are they? What
Mm-hmm.
else is it telling me? It's just a nice picture of a girl at the end
Bro,
of the day, right?
I'll tell you straight up. Like I'm Spawn. That's my
Yeah.
franchise. I'm always going to be Spawn. I'm going to get it tatted on my body. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, Todd McFarlane. Like I'm not saying he can't tell a story, but like it's I don't. It's drug out, yes, but it helps that. So like reading Spawn, like the midway point in Spawn after once it got to like 150 to like 200, it was rough sometimes because it was so drug out. Now
Mhm.
it's okay to be drug out because there's you got the Scorched, you got Gunslinger,
Mhm.
you got King Spawn, and they all tie into each other. So
Yeah.
it needs to be kind of drug out, so it helps. But at the end of the day, Todd McFarlane really drags out his stories.
Yeah, but if you look at his earlier work,
Hmm.
he was working
On
really
point,
hard
on point,
to
on
tell the
point
stuff. And
of
even
facts.
when you look at ASM 298 and you compare it to Spider-Man 6, I think it is,
Hmm.
you could see how he's changed, right? Just from those matter of issues, right?
Right.
Jim Lee, another guy, that you could see how their style changed. Francis Manipul, if you look at his stuff in Flash, it is gorgeous because it has this nice watercolor style to it, which I absolutely loved. And in Clear, which I know Clear comes, I think it's a comicology book. So
Yeah,
you
that's
might you
mhm.
can read it in advance if you have a
Mhm.
comicology thing. So I do plan on reading it. And I know the stories about, you know, Ready Player One type of thing.
Hmm.
That's kind of like what I'm a little different on, is that even though I may not get a chance to always read the books, which because I have a very very busy life, um,
Right.
I'm able to at least know what's going on. I always look at the work. I'll
Hmm.
definitely read the synopsis or anything like that.
Or
It,
YouTube or anybody doing reviews.
oh yeah, you
People,
go to Comic
yeah,
Historian and those guys.
anybody like
Variant.
Mike from Evil's Comics. I watch his reviews. Brian
Yeah.
LCS. He's reading like I don't want to read all the Spider-Man books, so he's doing those.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's accessible. So, but what's really great about the time we live in is that if you want to go back to reading some books, you don't have to worry about having to grab the old books and look
Hmm.
for them like I had to deal with. You could just go. You could get, you know, comics, you know, Comicology Unlimited. You could get
Yep.
Marvel Unlimited. You could get DC Universe, and you could read
Yeah.
books there if you want to, or you could just wait for a trade. Which again, if you want to get a trade, by all means, have fun, get yourself a trade. So you
Yeah.
do it because again,
Cole.
there it becomes easier to read it. Yeah, Cole does that with the trades.
Yep. Cole. Yeah. Cole raves about DC Unlimited.
Yeah. No, first of all, when it first came out, it was awesome. It was amazing how good it was because you also had TV series attached to it. And then HBO Max came in and kind of like took that away from us. But now it's more of it's a warehouse of comics. Yeah, Daredevil Born. Oh, I read that. I read that again about 2 years ago. Oh,
Just
so good.
I'm almost done with it. I'm still about halfway through it because I treat my trades as like table books. Like
Yeah.
I don't kind of read them in one sitting. I'll keep them out, and then when I'm like editing or having YouTube videos play in the background, I'll kind of read a couple chapters of them.
Beckerman had it right. I didn't even see that, and I was gonna say that. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, the J.R. Frank Miller book is awesome.
Hmm.
It is such a good story. It's a good origin story. So yeah, go pick that up. If you haven't read that, read that. You like Born Again? Go to this origin story. It is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to read that. Probably the Man Without Fear before the new season starts because I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that.
Man Without Fear, top notch. It's one of those books that I could go back to over and over, like a Watchmen or something like. I could go back to that book over and over and over. It is so good.
Yeah, Watchmen's great. I love that.
Yeah.
So, I had one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Um, oh yeah, a couple other things. Um, uh, no, I lied. I lied. I already talked about it, so we can move on.
Cool. So
What do you
what? Yeah, go ahead.
go? No, go ahead. I was probably going to ask the same thing you were going to ask.
So I was gonna ask, what are you interested in talking about? We could talk about anything. We could talk about comics. We could talk about wrestling. We could tell about whatever the chat wants to talk about. What the chat wants to talk about. That's a good question.
So besides being, like I said, my bones are so ready for March 22nd for Vanish to come back out. That is one of the most excited things I am, and WrestleMania, man, I'm beyond excited for that.
So I'm having a conversation about since WrestleMania is around the corner. I've been having a conversation with a good friend of mine that today. So we all know about the whole Bloodline storyline, right? The whole Bloodline
Hmm.
storyline is the hottest thing since I don't know how long ago, right? Bloodline is amazing the way they're able to tell this story. So a friend of mine, thank you, Beckman. Um, so he says, and I'm going to disagree for a good reason. Oh, cool! You going to AEW on Wednesday? Awesome. Um, he believes that the main event of nice one, main event of night two. Well, night two, no, not the main event. Main event of night one. He believes that the main event of night one should be the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm not disagreeing that should be the main event. However, I do believe in the concept of giving the women
Facts.
their spot,
100%. 100%.
right? Right. So
100%.
so Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Okay. Rhea Ripley is on fire. I think this whole storyline with Dominic kind of like pushing her
The war
down a little.
the worst storyline in the history of WWE, and it's bringing all of them. So I'm hoping Finn Balor comes out as the Demon
Mhm.
for the Hell in the Cell because
Sounds like he is.
yeah, so because he said Hell in the Cell brings out his demons, so I'm hoping he brings out comes the demon and then somehow leaves Judgment. Rhea Ripley beats Charlotte, she leaves Judgment. Dominic fights Rey Mysterio, he leaves the WWE. So like,
You're
hope
having Dominic leave?
leave, gone. He's
Wow.
how why is he there? So this is my take. You have Rey Mysterio being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and his kind of going away storyline is him versus his son who went to prison as
Which
his
I
like,
love. I love
which
that
is
story.
that's hands down the worst thing I've ever heard. And it's I would like I've been to jail. I was in jail for 2 weeks. I mean, I know that's nothing, but back in the day in my early 20s, but imagine being in prison and like watching the WWE and they're making fun of like showing all this stuff about prison and stuff. I
Yeah.
feel like it's super insulting, man. I
Yeah.
hate it. Hate it. If Dominic went to prison, he would not last a week, bro. Neither would
And
I.
I think that's the
But
joke. That's the joke that he did a
dude,
couple of hours in jail and
no, they
he
said he did weeks, like a
no,
couple
no, no, no.
weeks.
He said no, no. There the story goes he did just a few hours. And even his father was the one that bailed him out.
He
Because
went in,
he
dropped the soap, and dipped.
right?
Like for real,
I know that
man.
reference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think this is kind of like what Dominic needed, to be honest, because he was characterless. Dominic had no character, and say what you want to say, Ray doesn't have much of a character either. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Dominic doesn't know how to project himself as a character, and it's even worse when you have to project as a baby face, right? So I think the turn worked for him because first of all, he is now hated, right?
Right.
He has that heat,
Any reaction is a reaction at the end of the
right?
day.
But he
Agreed.
has the heat that he needs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now he's become one of the most hated characters in WWE. Why? Because of what he's been doing to Ray. And I'm not gonna lie, the social media moments when he's going to visit him, Thanksgiving was going to visit him,
Mm-hmm.
those are hilarious.
So on WWE 2K23, you can go into like create like the online customization and like download. So like you can, if people aren't in the game, you can anybody creates them and you can download them. The number one most downloaded character is Dominic Mysterio from the Judgment Day, probably because everybody just wants to beat the crap out of him all the time.
But that's what's cool about it, because that's the thing. The whole concept with Dominic is that he's working on getting his comeuppance. He is working to the point that he is going to get the biggest beat down you've ever seen. The problem I have with the story is that Rey Mysterio is a Mexican wrestler. He comes
Right.
from a Spanish descent. I'm Hispanic myself. I'm Puerto Rican, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no chance that and I'm sorry if this is a stereotype in any way, there is no chance that a father would not do that to not treat his son
Oh,
that way.
agreed, agreed.
He would have
In
been
that
beat him down.
in that culture, if your son's I mean, in any culture really, but especially in like that kind of culture, if your son's disrespecting any member of the family, that's a very serious
Yeah,
thing.
like that's the kind of stuff that you get. Even a smack in your face is. We're not talking about child abuse
Hmm.
here. We're talking about
Right, right.
putting your son in his place, and that's the biggest problem with the story. Like it's not believable in the sense that he's not putting his son in his place. Any parent would put your son. My kid did that to me. We're talking. We're gonna have a conversation because
If my son, yeah, if my
like
son's 12, dude, if he talked to me like that, it'd probably be the last time he's talking
you
to
know.
me like that.
And I think there is a little bit of some fun to the whole full circle of the whole story, because when you go back to the whole Eddie Guerrero storyline, he was mine before
Right,
he,
right. I mean, at the end
that's
of the day, he does look like Eddie Guerrero still.
it's
Like
the
to me,
height difference. The
it
height
is. It's
difference
the
is
height
killing me.
difference and it's the jawline. His jawline matches Eddie.
Yeah.
But
So for all it's worth, man, I think the story is gonna be what it is. It's taking forever before Ray could finally say, you know what, I'm gonna beat up my kid.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's got like 2 weeks
Way
left.
too long. It's way
So
too long.
yeah, it has to be next week because that way they can promo the match leading up to WrestleMania for a week.
Will
But
they?
where
Will they? Or will they promo it at by the Hall of Fame? Are they going to do an angle in the
maybe
Hall of Fame?
right, I
Because it's
never know.
WrestleMania. The WrestleMania's going to sell its tickets, and
Hmm.
it's one of those storylines that does it really matter that story like Austin and Owens last year. A lot of people don't know they promoted it as they were
Hmm.
being there, but it was never promoted as a match
Right.
until the match
Hmm.
happened.
Hmm.
Right. So that's the whole thing. That's a weird blue thing that's
I
going on
see
here.
that. I see that.
Oh, I see. It's like that's the sunlight.
Oh, nice. My biggest thing is like I'm so scared post WrestleMania. I'm so scared as a WWE fan because this is my prediction. Roman's gone. Roman's going to lose the title. He deserves a break. Seth and Logan. I think if Logan wins, Seth's going to get his break.
Mhm.
I think the they're losing to Sammy and KO. Usos are going to be gone. Whole bloodline thing is going to be gone. I have no idea what's going on with Lesnar, and I have no idea what's going on with Bray. But at the end of the day, if Cody wins the title, do you see Cody on the mic, face of the company, week in and week out, having the company on his back like Roman did?
So what I
No.
see happening, here's what I see happening. I'm gonna go all the way back. What's up, DJ? I'm gonna go
What's up, my
all the
brother?
way back to WrestleMania 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right, WrestleMania 14, and that is Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels. Right, the launch of the Attitude Era. Right,
Yep.
Stone Cold is on a path that he's guaranteed to win his title, but at the same time, Shawn is out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Shawn
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely out. He needs to recoup. In fact, at this particular time, it was more known that he was going to retire, right? Because
Yep.
that's he
Yeah.
was at
He
that
was.
he was at that
Mm-hmm.
point, right? His back was so bad that he was pretty much
Couldn't
at
even
retirement.
wrestle.
So what they ended up doing was brilliant because some people forget what happened the day after, right? So Monday Night Raw kicks in, and in Monday Night Raw we have Stone Cold. He is now the champion, and now he's slowly starting to program with McMahon at this time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what's even more important to note is that Triple H comes out and he starts talking. He starts talking to the fan. He's like talking to the camera, saying that Shawn, you messed things up. We're gonna do things my way now, and that's where he introduced X Pac. So X Pac returns, and then at the end, oh look at that! At the end, at the end of the episode, there's a steel cage match, and then we get the New Age Outlaws that are now
Mm-hmm.
part of DX. So
Yep.
this is the formation of the new DX.
Mm-hmm.
What I envision happening is something along those lines. We're gonna have the bloodline gone, right?
Yep.
Maybe and the Usos need a break too. I'll give the Usos a break, right? But the bloodline are gone, and I see this is what I see. I see Jay White coming in,
Yeah. That's where I'm at too.
right? I see Jay White coming in, but I don't think he comes in alone.
Right.
I think he brings in the Good Brothers, and who knows, we might even get some AJ Styles in the place.
I
I don't
hope
know if
not,
he.
man. He's one of my
I'm not.
least
I'm
favorite
not.
wrestlers of all time, bro.
But AJ's AJ. But here's
I
the thing: that
guess.
the concept here is to reformat, and create a new version, which they tried. But I think this time with Triple H on the helm, I
Mm-hmm.
think they're going to try to build a WWE version of the Bullet Club with Jay
Yeah.
White. And we're going to get Jay White. We're going to get the Good Brothers because they've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Since AJ been gone, they've been gone.
I could see them retooling the entire tag team division and
Yeah.
letting that kind of carry
So,
everything.
and that becomes because you need factions. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes stories good, factions. But what you need is Cody has to have some, and it makes sense in this way. Who doesn't like AJ Turns?
Dude, I can't stand him, bro.
I
I
love
can't
AJ, man. I'm
can't
not gonna lie, I love AJ.
stand him, man. I can't stand him on the mic. So like I like OG AJ. The only time I ever liked AJ
Impact
is
AJ Styles.
WCW AJ Styles, bro.
Oh wow, that's
Like
not even.
OG AJ is the only time I ever liked him. But dude, I can't stand at him at any time. Can't.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I can respect him, but I don't. He's a good
Yeah.
wrestler, but
So
I don't care for him at all.
and just like you said, maybe the Judgment Day needs to break up. Maybe we could get Finn involved in some way because then
Right.
by then you'll have this whole.
Yep.
You got the Bullet Club,
All the factions.
the OG Bullet Club.
Hmm.
You do that because you know Roman's gone.
Yep.
He's going to be gone for a while. You
Hmm.
do that, and I know they're supposed to be splitting up the titles, but I don't know what the plan is. That's a hard
And
one
then
to
at the
figure
end
out.
of the day, bring the Shield back. like
I,
dude, that's the biggest money mountain WWE at the end of the
well,
day is sitting on.
you gotta talk to Moxley about that one.
Right. That's what. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. At
You
the end
can't
of
have
the.
the show about Moxley.
Oh, DJ says he's giving me. Hang on. I had my shared screen. He's giving me a Styles Clash. Okay. Make sure you take the elbow. I want you to take the elbow pad off
Well,
before you do that.
I'm with you, man. I love me my AJ Styles. I could put
You
my AJ
can't.
Styles shirt on right now.
I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't know.
You, you didn't like AJ versus Samoa Joe, man. They've had some bangers. Talking about good stuff. Those
That
two,
is why I don't like AJ. Is because like, oh, let's fight the same dude week in, week out, and when you're not the main guy on the show, I don't want to see you fighting the same dude week in and week out.
what,
Like right now, I can't stand Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes. I can't like. I like Gunther. I'm starting to like Gunther more, but his whole faction, the two dudes he's with, I wish Gunther
yeah.
was just by himself.
Hmm. I like Imperium and Gunther. Personally, I'm more of a Walter fan.
Hmm.
I like him as Walter, but the guy got lean. Like
He did. He did.
he is super lean now, like more lean than I expected. So more power to him, and he's putting that IC title back to where it needs to be.
Right.
He could be a potential. I see him losing the title though.
Hmm.
I
We'll
see him
see.
losing it. To
We'll see.
Sheamus.
I think there's going to be a whole bunch of shenanigans in that match.
Yeah, I think my personal opinion. I think Sheamus is going to win that title, so he could call himself a Grand Slam champion.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I think there's some merit to that. I think Matt Cardona's on his way back.
Hmm.
He posted something on IG saying that his wife is over there, and he's actually teasing that he's coming back. I don't
Hmm.
know when he's coming back, but he's coming back. Yeah, that
Dude,
triple threat's gonna be awesome, DJ.
Mania is going to be banger after banger after banger after banger both nights. Every match is going to be through the roof. That's why my girl was looking up tickets and she looked up like the nosebleed of nosebleeds was like $525 a ticket.
Wow.
And that's like in a football stadium, dude, you're watching with binoculars type stuff. So she looked at like it wasn't even like front row seats, it was just like anywhere floor standing, and I think they were $5,000 to $7,000 a ticket.
And that's 2 nights too.
Yeah.
They got to fill up this arena in 2 nights.
That was for one night. That wasn't both nights.
Yeah,
That was
I could imagine.
yeah. I think you buy a ticket for each night.
Yeah, you have to buy a ticket for each night.
And then there was a bundle package, but like 5,000 to 7,000 for a ticket, bro. Like, come on, dude.
I know that feeling. I went to WrestleMania 20.
But yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't that. It was we'll say 2,000 to 3,000. I'm sure.
It was in the Garden. It
yeah,
was in the Garden.
Agreed.
It's the WrestleMania we shall not talk about.
Right.
Because of a technical wrestler that won the title that night. But it was awesome. What was awesome about that is that this was the first WrestleMania that we got to see John Cena become John Cena.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He faced that's where he took off. He faced the Big Show.
Yep.
For the U.S. title, and that's where we ended up getting the spinner belt.
Yep. That was all so dope.
Yeah, that was cool. Trish turned on. I forgot who she turned. She turned on Jericho.
Yep.
She turned on Jericho with Christian. That's
can't stand Jericho either, man. Listen, and it's only because of what he's doing now. Like
really?
it's just because like if I had a $20 bill and I walked up to Chris Jericho and I was like, "Hey, my son's having a birthday party. Will you come sing on it?" He would do it. That's why I lost a lot of respect for him because he does any gig right now, especially with his band.
Well, yeah, I think because he's at the twilight of his career, right?
He doesn't need to be doing that. You should just
I agree.
like
Dude,
you shouldn't.
Did you hear what he did in in Quebec. So
Mm-mm.
no, Winnipeg. So this is totally Jericho. He managed to find a way for the mayor to name a street after him.
See, like
He came up with the idea.
that's why I can't do it. Like, come on.
He came up with the idea. They named the street, and it's like it's an honor, but you're the one that came up with. So he talking about narcissist, the guy,
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
But my, I was loving Jericho in his WCW when he was trying to get
Oh
himself
yeah, he was
over,
so
man.
gangster. All that stuff.
Oh,
Jericho as a wrestler and stuff, love him.
yeah,
Like, one of the
but
greatest of all
but as
time.
a
But just
talent, man, he has such a way of making you either love him or hate him, or
right,
even love to hate him,
hmm
or just love him even though you're supposed to hate him.
right,
So when he was doing that thing with Goldberg wanted nothing to
nothing
do
to
with it,
do with it.
and he just kept going with it. He just kept going, and
Mm.
then when he left, the buzz was that he was coming to WWE, but no one really knew how. And then he did
Right,
this whole Y2J gimmick.
wasn't it
No
at the
one,
Rumble that he
no
premiered?
Y2J thing
Right,
came out was
because
in August.
yeah, I knew he appeared at the Y2J. I just didn't know which pay per view it was.
Yeah,
I
so
can't remember.
it was in August that he showed up, because they started doing the countdowns weeks in advance,
Yeah, that
and
was the
he's
loudest, like some of the loudest
loudest
pyro.
pop, loudest pop.
Mm-hmm.
They call it.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh
call
yeah.
it. They call it Legion of Doom pop, Road Warrior
Mm-hmm.
pops.
That
Um,
when like the Hardy Boys came back at
yeah,
Mania.
I mean, yeah, that was awesome, and you knew that were coming. That was one of those
Mm-hmm.
things you knew they were
Right.
coming. Um, I
Oh, who said it was a Raw? So
No,
my
no, he did
mistake.
debut. He debuted in Raw. It was Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So they did the countdown. We saw that the timer was going out in the middle of the episode. So it was like a
Uh-huh.
10 o'clock over here in my time, and Rock came out to cut a promo, and
Yep.
then that's when you saw the countdown. And that's when Jericho. But what a lot of people forget about, 2 weeks later, no one talked about Jericho because the Radicals showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And it took all the thunder away, and he was back to kind of like just being this guy trying to make him a name for himself.
Right.
So them showing up hurt him during that time, but what I love about Jericho, he's by far my favorite guy right now in this era of
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. He's been my favorite guy since then. It's because of his attitude and how he approaches things. But he had to fight his way, and he had to change his style so dramatically when he became that like suit and tie version of
Oh yeah.
Jericho. He had to change it. He went off, he cut his hair, he got a suit, he stopped being this fun loving guy, and he just became this corporate kind of guy,
Corporate.
and again made you hate him even more, and he just knew how to do it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I love about Jericho. I've always loved Jericho. I've always been a Jericho fan. It's not a
Right.
time goes by I don't think about Jericho being a cool guy. Yeah,
So
so what's going to be our giveaway for today?
so we're gonna do, since we're coming up on the hour, we're just gonna keep it simple and leave #Sesh on it. And like I said, I don't want to exclude anybody, but Dr. Von Hu, if you win, again, just reach out to me on IG and we'll figure something out, man. But yeah, I got a little stack of books, and then I'm gonna shuffle them around and we're gonna draw some.
Cool,
So,
awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some cool stuff this week. So this week we got 2 conventions coming up. I'm planning to attend Big Apple Comic Con, so I do have something that I'm gonna do, a nice little scavenger hunt type of thing that we're gonna do.
nice.
So we'll do that. And then there's another convention called King Con that's over in Jersey.
Oh, that's DJ. That's his whole
that's
thing.
his
Yeah.
realm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm planning to show up on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure
Nice.
just yet. I'm still waiting to hear from them. But if I do show up, I'm gonna do something there. And what's cool about those conventions is that both conventions are so different from each other. Where Big Apple is more about meeting artists, cosplay. There's
Mhm.
vendors, of course,
Right.
but then you have King Con, which is really a vendor show.
Mm-hmm.
That's for vendors to get their books and things like that. And then the following week, WrestleMania weekend, actually, I got Mocha Fest. I'm
Nice.
going just Mocha Fest is awesome. It's a straight up indie show.
Nice.
It is just indie. It's not vendors. It's not anything like that. These are just indie creatives who are promoting their stuff. And we're talking about the guys that are on Kickstarter. We're talking about those kind of guys. Um,
Nice.
it is such a cool experience. I can't wait to go to Mocha Fest. I went last year, had a blast last year. I got to see a lot of cool, interesting, comics and interesting creatives with great ideas. Not just comics either. It was more than just comics.
Hmm.
But really cool stuff, man. It was really awesome. So I can't wait to see that. Can't wait for Big Apple. Can't wait for King Kong. And I got Mocha Fest. And then after Mocha Fest, WrestleMania.
Nice, man.
So
I'm gonna run these draws, and I'm excited for your haul video, man. I'm excited to see what content
yeah.
you got for sure. Let's see who we got.
There you go.
Oh, Las Cruces, 1971. That dude is always cleaning house. So I'm gonna stop sharing, and we'll come back here.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, Las Cruces. Just hit me up on EIG. I have your shipping information, but just refresh my memory. So I'm gonna blow myself up a little bit. So, so I have all my giveaway books here right now. It's not enough to fill up a short box. I didn't want them just banging around, so I'm just going to shuffle them, and I'm going to pull a couple from the top. So Izzy, you just tell me when to stop.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of shuffle them around.
Yeah, keep that shuffling going, man.
We'll do one from the top. We'll do another shuffle. We'll split
when
it
you're
back
ready,
up.
go for it.
All right, I'll stop here. So I'm just going to bam. So free comic book day.
Yeah.
So we'll do another shuffle.
Right.
I'll pick like 3 or 4 books. We'll see.
Right. Let's see.
Bam.
That's a good one.
There's that one.
Strange Academy.
Do another shuffle, and bam. Oops, Spider-Man X Factor.
Nice.
Do another shuffle. Do 2 more.
Was that a 90s book?
Yeah. Spider-Man X Factor, Shadow Games, Battle Royale with Shadow Force, Marvel Voices.
Awesome.
And then we'll do one more, good sir. Oh yeah, Silver Surfer Rebirth.
Yes, Rebirth. Warlock Rebirth is coming. I can't wait for that book.
Yeah. I loved Silver Surfer Rebirth was dope. Mm-hmm. Super 90 vibes with all the corner boxes and everything.
Well, is it Rod Lim that's joining and Ron Marz?
I think
and Rod Lim did it?
I think so. I don't want to do that one. So I'll blow you up, Izzy, and go ahead and do your shameless plug real quick of everything on your channel.
Yeah, no problem, guys. So tomorrow is the weekly pull list. We're going to be talking about Shazam, right? I saw it, and we'll give a full review, maybe some spoiler stuff on it if you saw it. Also, we're going to be talking to a good friend of mine. His name is Tony. He has a Kickstarter project. He's going to be joining us as a guest host. We'll talk about all the new comic books that are coming out. We'll talk about what's trending, what's hot. And we're looking forward to the conventions, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about the scavenger hunt. Oh, yeah, one last thing. I opened up a shop. So if you're looking to get some cool T-shirts, some swag, it is now part of the YouTube channel. There's a really cool T-shirt that I really want to promote. It just says it's a classic memes that it just says DC and Marvel and Image and comics. So go check that one out. It's on the shop on Izzyverse NYC. It's easy to find, guys.
Cool. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yeah. I dropped his link in chat. So if you guys aren't familiar with him, go hit him up.
6:30 Eastern tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So for me, right now it's 7:04. So after this, hop over to Matt Woods. Him and I forget who his guest is right now, but he's live at 7, so he's currently live. And then at 9:00, you got Mark at Legion of Comics doing his at Week's End. So please go check them out. You got S Vaughn tomorrow at 7:30 with Lady Fantastic. They got their lives. For me, I got my big stack of books. I got Wednesday. I've just been being lazy. I got my 2-week comic haul I got to film. Phil's shout out video, and then I got Cole and Bearded Teams video, their challenge. And then on April 4th, I'm on the 10-1-1 with Gary B, showing off some of my books. And then now that I have editing down a little bit more, I don't know if I'm going to start doing it this week or next week, but I'm going to start a new series called What I'm Rocking. And it's I figured out how to screen record, so I'm going to be able to have like my pull list up from League of Comic Geeks and just kind of show you guys what I'm pulling each week. And it's not going to be like a top 10 list or most anticipated comics. It's going to be quick, simple, and just kind of brief and just kind of let you guys know what I'm excited about week in and week out. So other than that, man, I appreciate you guys. So all your support always means the world to me. And anybody on the recap, you guys mean the world to me as well.
Awesome.
Bam. So yeah,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah, for sure, man. Other than that, man, Izzy, I appreciate you. Your time is always valuable to me. Anytime you want to hang out, I'm always down on your channel, and anytime I'm live, I always shoot the
Yeah, let me
replay.
know when you want to come down to the Monday show, man. We'll have you.
For sure, for
Definitely
sure.
talk some comics and trending books.
For sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So again, shout out to the chat. You guys are the backbone of my channel and the community. I love you guys. Anybody on the recap, your time means the world to me. Please sub up anybody you see. And again, we're going to rock out of here. I love each and every one of you. And as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for.